Okay, finally, I'm able to do it. My goodness, they got my tabs at the bottom of the screen are going all over the place, and now I just lost Ryan. Good morning, everybody. It's Dr. Vibe, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. And I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers that's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. You know, you think that your computer would behave when you want it to do, but when you want it to, but it doesn't. But we're live. Everyone give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. I'm pretty sure you can, but I want to make sure that everything's sounding okay audio-wise, etc. So let's just see here. Okay, FitNets IQ Cam says, good morning, everyone. All right, can you hear me loud and clear, FitNets IQ Cam? I hope you can. Give me a thumbs up or give me a message saying that you can hear me. Okay, Frequency Event Promotion says we're good. All right, excellent. So now we can get things started. It's been one of those mornings, like in Toronto, it is raining. Like, I mean, for the last few weeks, we didn't get any rain heavy. We got it all catch-up rain today. So let's get to a few housekeeping things. So first things first. This episode of The Morning Vibe is sponsored by the McMillan Group, providing mortgage solutions one client at a time since 1999. Buying, refinancing, or investing, call them at 905-813-4354 if you're in Canada. US 904-586-5636. So that's part of our Monday drill. Thank you. Continuous support of McMillan Group. And I'm also going to make sure you get it visually. There we go. Phone number Canada, phone number US, toll free. North America. Maybe it's worldwide, but I know it's toll free. North America, 866-883-0885. Website address, themcmillangroup.com, and email address raymcmillan@gmail.com. I think Ryan is back. Ryan, are you back?
Yes, let me know if this is coming through okay.
Yeah, you're good. It's all good. It's good. What's going on?
Hey, things are progressing well. For those that don't know who Ryan Knight is, I'm one of the co-founders of the Afro-Caribbean Business Network. We work with entrepreneurs of African and Caribbean heritage, really to figure out what stage their business is in and then help them create a strategy to grow their companies exponentially. And over the weekend, we did have one of our network and grow your business events in partnership with Jamal from M-Pro Graphics. So that was at a Fury Groove, the dance studio and venue space in Pickering. So out here in Durham, was able to talk with some entrepreneurs from the community about AI, funding, and also finance. So shout out to the other speakers. Stephanie Sani Edwards was talking about AI, and everybody in the room was, I feel, energized just getting to talk about their experience, what tools they're using. Those that have never used ChatGPT, we opened it up on their phones right there in the room and got them testing it. It was awesome.
Well, good. Loving the segues, because a few things we have to, housekeeping things. First of all, like the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. And also, please like the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, not on YouTube, on Facebook and LinkedIn. Other things that we want to talk about. Would you like to join the Morning Vibe Discord group? please email me at dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. And what's our Discord group? That's our private chat group. It's our family. So in between the Monday and Friday shows, and between the Friday and Monday shows, if you have things you want to talk about, continue the conversation offline, there we have it. So we've got that going on. A few other program alerts coming up tomorrow night at 9 p.m. on the Dr. Vibe Show. I'll be speaking with Dr. Alicia Watkins about Black Fathers and Father's Day. So you don't want to miss that. And if you don't know who she is, if you know the name Boyce Watkins, Dr. Boyce Watkins, that is his wife. And she has her PhD in social work. She is a certified trauma trainer, or helping people with trauma. And she's been helping Black couples for 15 years.
Excellent. Love
so
that.
She has a lot of experience in that area. So come check it out. And also this Wednesday, Ryan, speaking about AI, we have Devin McDonald from Carnes O'Neill, who will be talking about AI and advertising. And again, I've been talking about this since he made his presentation that I saw. He's going to talk about how he took one of his major clients, Kobo, the Kobo reader, and developed an AI campaign. Did not use any media agency, developed a campaign using AI. So if you're available at 10 a.m. this Wednesday, definitely check it out. If you can't check out the replay, I have a special co-host and another potential special co-host for that. So I'm not saying, I'm just saying we have one confirmed. We may get a second. And let's put it this way: if both of them come on, I'm just going to sit back and listen and take notes.
Right.
As they interact with Devin McDonald from Carnes O'Neill, and also
go to school.
Yeah, and just another thing about Mr. McDonald, he actually received the Media Person of the Year award in Canada from Strategy Magazine. So we ain't playing, family. And this is the type of person I know Ryan would have loved to have had his presentation on Saturday in regards to AI, but he's going to be laying it down, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So what else has been going on, Ryan? How you enjoy? This is not a Detailing Nights day, by the way.
No, so this is the day that we do the admin. We're inside, getting our marketing strategy on point. So, but always a good time to work on the business, whether it's rain or shine. And coming up this week, we actually have one of our final days of our study group. So for those that might remember, we started the study group at the last entrepreneurship conference, the Black Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Conference. It's been going since last year, June, till this year, June 20th. And then our conference is at the end of the month, so June 27th to 30th. So again, touching on the progress of this Black ecosystem. Are entrepreneurs actually getting the support that they need? What programs are out there, and what is for the future? Because this ecosystem funding is ending 2024. Well, the end of 2024. So what's our strategy for after that? We talked about the social finance fund. What is our strategy for that? So I feel like, have to get together more often and strategize. And the study group was a piece of that. But beyond that, just, operations, ACBN slowly growing, and DK, the sun is out. We had, a week and a half, I would say, of just sweet. So, just keeping up with those appointments and the training.
Okay, fantastic. A few things I just want to say hello to family. Fitness IQ, good morning, everyone. Frequency. All right, it's happening now. Frequency Event Promotions, good day, everyone. Thumbs up on my audio, excellent. Fitness IQ says audio is good. Ray says, good morning, audio is perfect. Frequency Event, showers of blessings. Also says hi to the McMillan Group. Fitness IQ Cam, you must be talking about Ryan, Mr. Celebrity. Fantastic. Frequency Event Promotions, great. We're seeing you this past weekend. Keep up the brand work. Frequency says Discord email thread. Nice. Count us in. Well, email me. You can count yourself in, but you got to take the action and email me to get that. And Mohammed says good afternoon. And the reason why he's saying good afternoon is he's joining us from Sierra Leone in West Africa.
Appreciate that again.
Very nice. So we've got family from different continents.
Yes.
Hanging it out. So that is no problem. All right. So we have a returning friend, and she's got so much to chat about. I don't know. I know she's going to talk about Indie Soup Media. I don't know if she's going to talk about media, tech, and pop culture, but we're going to bring to the stage Dr. Tachi.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles,
solution
to
someone's problems.
And Blackalicious.
And Blackalicious. We have to add that.
There you go. What's up? What's up? What's up?
I am fine. I bring greetings from where I am in Fort Lauderdale to you and Gala King. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, I'm still waiting for my captain gown, my crown, and my cape.
We still have to get it together. So don't worry. It's coming, sir. It's coming.
It's coming. Oh, well, you know, Ryan, she does have a few things she's got to get done, right? So she has things she's got to get done. So Dr. Tachi, we got some time with you today. I know you want to talk about Indie Soup Media. Do you want to talk any media, tech, and pop culture? Do you just want to keep it Indie Soup Media today?
Oh, well, whatever you all would like.
Okay, let's talk about media, tech, and pop culture as the appetizer, and Indie Soup as the main course.
Okay, that's nice. I'm hungry too, so sure.
So, what's going on in the world of media, tech, and pop culture?
Well, it's still award season. It is the tail end of award season. I don't know if anyone watched the Tonys last night. And for those of you that are not familiar, you may not be in the U.S., especially our friends. In Canada, you probably know well about it, but in Sierra Leone, maybe not so much. But the Tonys are the award ceremony for a theater, like for Broadway, for plays, etc. And so, unfortunately, I fell asleep. So I didn't have a chance to watch it. I don't know. I woke up and it was like 3:00 in the morning and I was on the couch. That's a recipe for disaster for the rest of the day. So that happened last night, and you actually can go to, I think it's thetonys.com and look up all of the winners. And here's the thing. I'm going to go back and watch some of the highlights because I really, really, really enjoy the Tonys. All the other award shows be damned, but I really enjoy the Tonys, and that's because of the performances that are there. There is so much. I mean, there's work involved in television and all of that. It's work involved, but the theater is like basic bare bones, where there is nothing between you and the audience. It is you're breaking that fourth wall or not breaking the fourth wall, and you get the unadulterated reaction to whatever it is you've done straight away. So even if they're just clapping to be polite. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I just want to ask, in light of that, Dr. Ted, are award shows still getting good ratings?
No. You didn't even have to finish that one. No.
Yes.
Okay. If we're looking at it year over year compared to what they're used to doing, no. As a program itself, being media, sure, if you get, a couple of million, a few million views, if that, 1 million views, that's still a lot of views, but not compared to what television is used to doing. And the thing is, there are a lot of things that added to this. Let me go down the list of the things that have added to this. Number one, we're tired. We's tired of you congratulating yourselves and clapping yourselves on the back. We love it, but you don't have to include us for 3 hours.
Right.
What person sits down, unless it's a movie and something, to sit down and watch an award ceremony? Think about if you went to, Gala King, you go to a lot of galas. Now, those are typically going to be 3 or 4 hours, but there are other things involved, right? You get to eat. as awful as the food might be, but you get to eat.
Yes.
You get to dance, perhaps. There is a program. You probably have entertainment. Now, the thing they have there for us is program and maybe entertainment. If it's the Oscars, a few songs.
Right.
So there's nothing there to hold the attention. Number two, you are also competing with other types of content, right? So you're competing with streaming, you're competing with other shows on cable that may be on at the same time. Number three, ratings in general for network TV have gone down over the years because of the competition of different things. Number four, it is not so often now that appointment television is gone. Right? Appointment TV is gone. People watch on demand. People watch at their leisure. So because award shows are so in the moment and appointment television dependent, people tend not to watch them in the moment. Now, they do take ratings of people who watch on demand and after the fact. So when you see a rating and you see the plus sign after it, that plus indicates that this is the number that watched. There are numbers that watched after it was live on television. So that plus is like on demand, reruns, that type of thing, or replays, that type of thing. So those are the big thing. Number five, there's more. But wait, there's more. Number five, think about, there are two big things that really have added to this. The pandemic, where nothing was really being produced, or what was produced was only what was already shot, right? And so you could see the award shows, the Oscars included like things that were streaming for the first time, and they didn't have to be in the theater in that window amount because they needed something to give awards to, right? So there's that. And then in addition to the pandemic, there's this now, the writer's strike. So this is not going to affect this year. It will affect next year. But it lets you know that there's some trouble boiling under the surface in Hollywood, and there has been for years, in terms of pay, equity, and all of those types of things. So there are so many more things, but the bottom line is, if there are, we are now in an age of watching YouTube, watching TikTok, watching social media, where we have firsthand connection to many of the people. Even if it's in our heads, they answer us back, right? When you say hi, hey, even if they're not really saying hi to you, they're acknowledging your presence. Linear television has never acknowledged the presence of viewers. Even now, when you look at the writer's strike, I love the fact, I support the writer's strike. In fact, I support any strike where the management and the executives are rewarding themselves with record numbers. The CEO, and I know I'm going on, but I have to tell you this. The CEO or co-CEO of Netflix is Ted Sarandos. Do you know what his compensation package is supposed to be this year?
No idea.
40 million. 40
Come
million.
on.
3 million, only 3 million of that is his actual pay. But how many people make $3 million a year? Okay. 15 million of that is stock, Netflix stock. And then the other of that is the bonus, which he probably is going to get. Bonus is bogus because he's going to get it. So in all, his compensation package just for him is 40 million. The writers union, or the Writers Guild, WGA, was only asking, or is only asking, for $68 million in changes to make what it's only going to cost $68 million. But you have one individual making over half of that, just at one place. So you can imagine across the board what is being made. If we're talking about Netflix streaming, just one individual. So it's not being unreasonable to ask. But here's the thing with the writer, I support them, but you have left us out of the equation. We identify with you. We love your work. Did you ask for us? What you did ask Netflix to the shareholders to vote no on the compensation packages, which they did overwhelmingly. Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to go through, because the big board has the final say on that, but it's more of a symbolic gesture. But have you reached out to the viewer? Now, it doesn't mean that everybody is going to do something, but if we are dependent on you for your talent, writers, which we are, talent and actors, which we are, everybody else connected with that, we are dependent on you. Ask us to be part of that. And I think that's another mistake, that we don't feel vested in your fight. So we're just like, oh, okay.
Yes.
So that's that. But go ahead. I'll allow you to ask me more questions.
Well, it's like you're saying, because there was a writer's strike before, and when it came around again, it was almost like, oh, here we go again, where we don't really understand the nuances of it. So it just kind of catches us off guard. But I did have a quick question, and maybe just a quick touch point. So if there was one award show besides the Tonys that you would say to keep, which one would it be? If we could only just keep one. But besides the Tonys. Is there any other one that you say is valid, or is it just like, we're tired of this?
Well, you know what? I don't think we need to really see any of it, and I'm not being hateful. What I'm saying is this: give us a red carpet show. Give some people the camera so we could get some behind the scenes things. Let us kind of like what Vogue did with the Met Gala a couple of years ago, where they gave the cameras to influencers. Let us give that, because then you're pulling in a whole segment of people who probably did not read Vogue anyway. This way you would pull in people who probably don't watch network television anyway. They would be vested. Give them the cameras. Also, you know, you can still have professional camera crews, but just do a red carpet. Do red carpet interviews about things. Do your ceremony, congratulate yourselves, eat your dry stuffed chicken, all in there that you all are not going to eat because you're not trying to bust out of your outfits. But go ahead, you're just going to waste it and leave it on the table, because you know they don't eat at these things. Between the nerves, it's awful, and they're not trying to bust out of their, you know, whatever they have on, they're not eating. So that's food gone to waste. Okay, so I mean, do it there, have your 3-hour ceremony. Next day, come back. I'm good with press releases about this. Let the press in. Let the press be part of that thing so that they can report on it later. Just like, because we don't all get to go inside the Met Gala. There's a red carpet for the Met Gala, and I'm using the Met Gala as a model here because I think they do it right. We don't need to be in there with whatever it is you're doing. It may be cool and whatever, but see, now you've let us in. You've given us a window into what you're doing with these award ceremonies, and we're like, okay, next. Are there reruns of King of the Hill on? Something, because, you know, this is tiring. So I'm saying that to say, I don't know. For some people, yes, these are still valid. They're still interested. I think we still have a love affair with stars and celebrities. We still want to know what's going on. But to sit down for 3 hours when there are other things in the world going on, no. But you should have it, definitely. And then give us the highlights.
All right, let me jump in. There's comments coming in as always when Dr. Tachi's on. Divine Right, hello, Dr. Vibe, Gala King, and Soror Tachi. So of course, Divine Right says from the DMV, I have my social media shows in my calendar. I love them way more than TV. And like Dr. Tachi said, it's about connection that we never get through TV shows, and I can stream or cast to my TV if wanted. Good morning, Terry Nicholson. Good to see you.
Hey,
Divine Right says, keep the Soul Train Music Awards. I haven't watched those in forever.
Is that still happening?
Like, yes,
it is. Yes. Soul Train is happening. NAACP Image Awards happens.
Image Awards, yeah.
If we're talking about music, American Music Awards, the Grammys still happens. All of those still happen. Now, here's the thing. I do think that the music awards are more captivating because you do have the performances, and there's a different feeling, I think, that we have towards our music celebrities than we do the people that are acting. But nevertheless, still, I don't think we need to have all of them. Red carpet, let them celebrate. And you know, the thing is, I think we're celebrating with them, but you could sum up the entire thing in probably 1 hour. So if I have to say this, if we're going to keep the music shows, sum it up in 1 hour, go ahead, record, because a lot of these things are not recorded live anyway. They're played back after the fact. Edit it down to 1 hour and let us be.
I like that. Edit it down to 1 hour. I know that term from somewhere, but that's another con. Gotcha. All right. Divine Right says, keep the Soul Train Music Awards. Terry says, hello, Serena. Fitness IQ Cam loved about the busting out of the dresser, busting out of their clothes. And Divine Right says, hey Terry, happy Monday. And also, yes, the Soul Train music are still going on, and I look forward to these. I haven't watched those in so long. Like whenever they're on, I'll just take maybe at a look in the social media feeds, and it tells me what's going on. Divine Right says, I don't even watch the BET Awards. Too much for me. I go online a day after and watch the highlights.
I think I am okay if we have to keep something, but then we would have to keep everything so nobody stays. How about that? None of y'all get anything. I think that it is very important. The reason we have a Soul Train Music Awards, an NAACP Music Awards, a Latin Grammys, those types of things is because traditionally people of color have been, or BIPOC, but I wasn't at the meeting when they picked the term BIPOC, so I rebuke that.
Yeah,
nobody asked
there
me.
We go.
So, but
Good.
People of color, when we've been traditionally left out of the spaces in terms of being congratulated. And so this was our way of saying, well, we don't need you to tell us what's good about what we produce. We will congratulate ourselves. That doesn't mean we should be left out of the mainstream award ceremonies. But if I'm not going to sit here and wait for you to congratulate me, or get people to, this is the most rubbish thing I've ever heard of. And I know it happens. But the fact of you have to get other people to vote for you for an award. And so it no longer is a meritocracy. Granted, we don't know the people that would be picking, whether or not they're picking with the right mindset, but it's like, it becomes a contest then of how many people you could get. And I hate that organizations make people that are vying for awards do that. If it's an audience award, yes, that way it should be, or I'll call it like a People's Choice Award. Well, the people are picking it. Absolutely. But if it's an award for merit, and again, it's become a money grab for some of these people. Everybody has an award because you have to pay for it. And it's become a money grab. It doesn't mean it's not a valid award, but it leaves out the people who, I can't pay $100 for XYZ. It leaves out those people. And then if you don't have a huge network who are going to vote for you 7 times a day, it leaves you out too. So how about we just have nice awards that we don't have to see on television. Give us the highlights. And then maybe if you want to do that, let the people who really want to watch that do that. Do a pay-per-view, right? Do a pay-per-view thing. You get it's a whole package. You pay for it. They send you like official tickets that you can frame and make it an experience. Yes. Leave the rest of us out of it who don't care.
All right. Well, we got someone else joining us, so I think it's a good segue into Indie Soup Media. And let's bring to the stage a gentleman I've known for a while digitally, Mr. Curtis Brooks. What's going on?
Doing well, sir. Doing well. Hey there, Ryan. What's going on, man? How are you?
Very good. Glad to have you.
So, Curtis and Dr. Tachi, a week from today. Boom. A week from today, and this is why Dr. Tachi probably is sleeping on the couch at 3 o'clock in the morning and waking up, are launching a great new platform called Indie Soup Media. But what I want to do before that is, Mr. Curtis, it's the first time you've been on the Morning Vibe. So we'd like you to introduce yourself, and then we're going to get into Indie Soup Media. So please do share.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Once again, my name is Curtis Brooks. I am a co-founder of Indie Soup Media. Super excited about what we're doing here. As Dr. Tachi mentioned, I guess, as listening in about the whole awards thing, that sometimes we have to be prepared as far as at least coming from a perspective of just indie content creators. We have to be prepared to give ourselves our own awards, and that means that we're showing up for what we're showing for our own content, and establishing our own platforms and things of that nature, connecting with other content creators as well. So super excited about what we got going on here. And as I'm sure you guys have probably mentioned briefly, the soft launch is coming real soon here. So we're definitely hard at work getting those things together, guys. Thank you for having me.
Well, this is fantastic. And just want to shout out, we're doing some broadcasting on Instagram live. And people on Instagram, again, we're talking with Dr. Tachi and Curtis Brooks, who are going to be launching Indie Soup Media. And on Instagram, it's at Indie Soup Media. So follow. So Curtis and Dr. Tachi, well, you two have known each other for a long time. So I think if you can give us a progression about how you met, you've been working together for many years, and then how did Indie Soup Media come to being? So who wants to start?
Well, I've been talking. Let Curtis start. Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Tachi.
Nobody.
So actually, we met the same place we met you on Blab, and Dr. Vibe was Blab King. And for those of you who don't know, Blab was an app that, similar to this, allowed you to have people on stage in 4 seats to have extended conversations, and you could have people in the audience in the comments as well. So it's the precursor to like all of this type of stuff. It was actually fabulous until it wasn't. So we met there, actually in your show. It's funny, I had made a comment about something when you were talking about food. And you with Cuisine Noire, I think you had on the woman from Cuisine Noire, and I made a comment, and Curtis found that interesting, and we actually had talked about that. And then, so then circle back, he was always coming into Mediascope and watching, and then asked if he could help out. First thing I said, Curtis, I don't have any money, so you can't help me. So but he said, no, I just want to see it grow. So I said, okay, if you say so. So he came in, and then this was like the year after I launched. So I launched in 2015. This was like at the end of 2016. And at the time I was using 2 devices. He was using a program called Wirecast, which was prior to all this, like encoders for web. And so he was using his computer. We were doing it that way. And so that's really how we met, basically through Blab.
There we go. Wonderful. And you two have been, now how long have both you been doing Mediascope together now? How many years now?
7 years.
7 years.
7 years. So there are other people, family, that have been doing this a long time. People think like I'm the only one. Dr. Tachi and Curtis have been doing it for a long. And family, please follow Mediascope and what they do. Outstanding programming. Wednesdays 5 p.m. on Instagram Live, 5 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Eastern. YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, and there are probably some other things, but those are the ones I remember off the top of my alleged mind.
And I'm so curious, so Curtis, what initially made you want to reach out and say like, hey, this is a platform and this is a program that I do want to see grow? Like what sparked that initial interaction? Yeah,
that's a great question, Ryan. Great question. For me, it was really just kind of getting my feet wet in the broadcast space, because I've always aspired to be in that space, be it directing or working behind the camera or doing something. And as far as the live stream piece of it, it was essentially a low cost barrier to get into that space. And I had been working with Wirecast for some years. I think I first initially came in touch with Wirecast was when it was at version 4. Now it's like version 15. So it's been quite some time. I've been with the system for quite some time now. So reaching out to Tachi was just like, you know what, let me go ahead and put my experience, or at least what I'm learning, to work and learn some things as well. So with Tachi's expertise in the media space as well, being a professor, I've learned quite a bit from her, and just needed to just kind of put what I learned to use and in a professional space. And so, and I was certainly, and this is what really kind of, I guess, what really kind of provoked me, is just hearing that, hey, she comes from this space, and maybe she'd be willing to, take me on.
Let's just catch up with some comments. Divine Right says, "What is up, MC Curtis?"
Yes, I don't have my machine with the sound effects, but yes.
Mohammed says, going back to our comment about media, comments about media, or Dr. Tachi's comments about media, a lot of people are misleading the media, especially here in Sierra Leone, where few people understand how to correctly use electronic devices, and the number of illiterate people is greater than the number of literate people. Also, I guess Curtis Brooks brought his fan club. Terry Nicholson, good morning, MC Curtis. Frequency of Bedrocks, greetings, Curtis. Kim Williams says, good morning, everyone. And
hey, Kim.
And Kim at Frequency of Emotion says, congrats, Dr. Tachi and Curtis. So where did the idea come up for Indie Soup Media? I always like to hear the backstory. That's where did that come up? Was it a long time in thinking? Who came up first and said, and who came up with it?
So here's the thing. Curtis kept saying that we could do our own, because we had we talked about doing a Roku channel for a while. Right. And then, it just never materialized because you get busy. So then he kept saying, we could really pull some people together and do. I was like, yeah, okay, Curtis, fine. For next week on Mediascope, we will be. And then he kept saying it. And like the fifth time, I'm like, are you for real serious about doing this? And he said, yeah. I said, okay, well then let's do the homework to do it. And here's the thing. It's not really like it was something new or outside of the sphere of our experience. Even though I've been doing Mediascope myself for 8 years. He's came on in year 7. Both of us, and he's run for other people, and I've run for other people shows. We both have been in the live stream space since like 2011, 2012. So This is quite a long time coming. And after a while, the natural progression is moving toward formation of something bigger than just having a single show. And it also is like, for me, I know I get tired of, we're talking about award shows, right? It's the same 2 people who get congratulated all the time. Yeah. Congratulations, you once again, and you're 5 years later. Congratulations. It's the same people all the time that always get congratulated. And this is not just in the television or media space. This is for everything. The same people are always getting awards. Now, this doesn't mean they don't deserve it, but this just means that the people who are granting the shine are not aware, have a very tunnel view, and are not aware of anything outside of that tunnel. And so we exist to be that light outside of the tunnel, not just at the end of the tunnel, but the light outside of the tunnel, because all I do is watch content all day, whether it's traditional linear content or content on, streaming platforms or social media content. I think I have a good eye for what is good. If I'm enjoying it and I'm laughing, I know somebody else will, right? And I think we all have that kind of sense of things. And so as we're looking at this, and there are fewer opportunities, I'll tell you really quickly, and I think I told you all this before, the fact that in 2018, we went to the Atlanta Pitch Summit, which is like, Atlanta is the Hollywood of the South. That is a pitch summit similar to the ones that happen in LA, where you could get your idea in front of people. So there were a lot of companies there, media companies, that we actually pitched to, I think, 3 or 4. Nobody knew what to do with us because none of them understood digital. I'm like, out of all y'all, nobody understands a whole individual media company worth billions. Nobody gets this, and nobody is trying to get this. That's when I threw up my hands. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't need you all. And so some other people, and we watched people at the pitch summits, like kind of running behind people. Oh, we all want to be at this network or that network. Why don't you make your own and put it out there? They're not looking to put money into new people. I hate to tell you all this, and I hate to burst bubbles. Hollywood works with who Hollywood knows. The Canadian media industry works with who Canada knows. That goes for everywhere. If they don't know you, they are not going to take their money and put it invested in you because they don't know you. If you don't know someone, that's also going to be. So Hollywood is this, or media industry is this. Yeah, it's what you know. Yeah, it's who you know, but it's who knows you. So if you don't have that perfect storm, it's not going to happen. And I'm not trying to dissuade. You can still do it. But I watch people who for years and years, I'm involved with a show where for years and years, it has been only pitching to traditional and it still hasn't been picked up because they're not going to. And I hate to be like that, but they're not. So that was really also my catalyst for wanting to put this forward, because we can do it, we can do it well, and we can do it for ourselves.
Go ahead, Curtis.
Yeah, just really quick here. I think for me, the catalyst for me was Tachi kind of mentioned just briefly here in what she was just saying, was just really betting on yourself, and that for me that was the whole premises. It's just betting on yourself, because so many people are waiting for other people to create opportunities for them, and rather than bet on themselves, come up with your own content and just platform or whatever the case might be. But it essentially just takes practice. Look at what other people are doing. Practice, 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 practice. And again, whether it's scripted or unscripted, just practice, and you can get to that place. And then I'm not trying to speak from a place of authority, but I'm not as well-rounded as Tachi is. Tachi's a professor in this space, but since I've been in this space, I've picked up so many skills. And Tachi will tell you, I'm the first person to call her. Tachi, did you see this? Did you see this? And I'll sit on YouTube or just watch videos or for hours at a time learning certain things.
Oh yes,
Tachi will tell you that. That's like a weekend thing for me, but just practice and eventually say, you know what? You build the confidence up and say, hey, you know what? I want to do my own thing, and this is how I'm going to do it. And I think for me, what comes to mind is the Tabitha. What's her name? Is it Tabitha?
Tabitha Brown.
Tabitha Brown. She comes to mind. And I think she's a perfect person for that. Reminds me where she's creating the space and where she was going to do her own talk show. And there were so many things, or at least for her, red flags where they wanted her to be someone else or come out the gate doing it this way, doing it that way. And that just was not her. But she had already created such a platform and a following that she could say, you know what, let me do my own thing. And that's what she's doing now.
Excellent. Excellent. So, Ryan, do you have any questions? I've got a pile, but do you have any questions you want to bring on?
No, nothing that comes to mind, because I'm just curious if you can describe what in the scope, like what would make a person understand what it's going to be. Because I know you mentioned Roku, we know about Netflix, we know about just YouTube and the vastness of it. Is there a way that you describe it, like what will differentiate it?
Oh, yes. Because we're the bomb. That's all we just exist. You don't have to. We exist. That's the difference. We exist. No, but seriously, we really have the independent content creator in mind. So basically, one of our taglines is Indie Soup, the heart of the independent content creator. And the thing is, we really have content creators front of mind. Not to say no, and that other people do not, but we really have content creators front of mind. So you have leeway in terms of the types of content you can create. We have broad areas. So arts and entertainment, education, business education / tech. And we also have lifestyle. And underneath those, a whole, global issues. So underneath those four, a whole lot of different content can fit. So we have everything right now from talk shows like what Dr. Vibe and you are providing to reality television shows. We actually have Detroit's first, they're billing themselves as Detroit's first reality television show called 313 versus Everybody. And they have pummeled a lot of money and time and resources into the shooting of this. So we have a lot of different types of things. So I think the thing that makes us different is not that we're distributed on Roku on our website, but the big thing is also the metaverse. There is nobody else talking about really including the metaverse as part of their distribution strategy. We see that as something that is the future, despite whatever you may see in the news. That is the future of entertainment. that could be the future of work. And so we want to be future forward. And so spatial is part of our distribution strategy as well. So that's one thing that definitely makes it different. And also a couple of things. We are an incubator for talent. So we're not just saying, all right, come bring us your stuff and we'll put it on. We are saying that to an extent. But if you have an idea, we see you have the personality and you have the desire to make a show, guess what? We're going to teach you how to do it. We're going to teach you how to do virtual production. So far, we have done 3 workshops on that, and we're going to continue to do professional development workshops for the creators so that they can learn how to be better with their video.
Be more
That's my thing. If you're gonna come, you better be more and be more with their live streams as well. And so there's also the ability for creators to teach their craft, because in addition to video on demand or advertising video on demand, in addition to the linear, which will have programming going most of the day, in addition to we're going to be a podcast platform and also a live audio platform, we have something called Indie Soup Learn. And this allows creators to teach their craft and monetize off of the teaching of their craft. So those are some of the things that are what we call the Indie Soup difference. It's not better, it's just different, because I think there's room in this space for everyone.
Nice. When did the real work start making Indie Soup happen? When did the real work start?
Curtis?
When did the real work start? Man, that's a great question. I think the real work has been starting. It has just been a matter of progression. I don't think it just started on a Wednesday or 6 months ago.
Right.
I think the natural progression has been that it's been coming, if you will. It's been on its way, and as Tachi mentioned, this has been the natural progression, whereas that we've been working together for quite some time now, and the natural progression would be to, hey, wait a minute, why don't we maybe have a conversation where we're bringing talent together? Because I think a lot of times the talent has there are obviously lots of talent out there and content creators, but oftentimes the challenge is that that's just what they do. They create content, and I think they can get so caught up in creating content that a lot of content creators come to a place where they're exhausted because they're just creating content. But when you have people like Tachi and I putting together Indie Soup Media, we now give them an outlet with their content. And so I think it's just been a natural progression, and that's just kind of how we showed up. It was just, we showed up.
Ryan, because I can keep on going, running.
No, feel free.
Okay, so for both, let me do this first. I want to shout out to the Instagram family: Nadia Donella, Frequency Event Promotions, Reclaiming My Wellness, Achievable Great, Keen on You. Thanks for all stopping by, and also Dr. Tachi. She has this on Instagram also. How are content creators finding out about you to present their ideas to your platform?
So what we did initially is we approached people that we knew that created great content. You're already doing this, so you probably would be game for doing it on a larger platform. And that's how we got the initial crew who have become the founding creators of Indie Soup. So if you came on at the time and we asked you personally, you are part of the founding creation. So you're a founding creator. And so now what's happening is we actually are getting applications, because on our website, indiesoupmedia.com, if you scroll to the bottom, there is an application for people to apply to have a show on the network. And again, that show could look like a number of different things, because we actually ask you whether or not, if it's audio content or what you have. So that is how we're getting folks.
Okay. All right. Curtis, you are the production guy. How much fun have you, both you are, but especially Curtis, how much fun have you had production wise with this wonderful opportunity so far?
It's been awesome, man. I love the production piece of it. I love the production piece of it. But in regards to the production piece of it, behind as far as working behind the scenes, a lot of what we're doing is essentially, or a lot of what I'm doing, Tachi is included, is working behind the scenes and putting the production piece of it in the hands of the content creators. There are some content creators we're going to be helping out with the production piece. They've got great ideas and great content, but we're helping them to kind of put the finishing touches on it, if you will. And as Tachi mentioned, we do workshops like helping content creators create lower thirds and learn how to use other streaming platforms. And I think that is one, just a huge difference that we bring to our content creators at Indie Soup Media. But yeah, the production piece of it, I've been doing quite some time now, since meeting Tachi. But again, for the most part, we're giving our content creators, showing them how to fish for themselves, essentially.
Nice. Okay.
And
How did they make? Go
sorry.
ahead, Ryan.
I was just curious the I guess the monetization structure of the platform, like which direction were you going in with being able to monetize it? Because being able, like building out your own distribution network, I know ads come to mind, but are there other ways that you're able to sustain it?
Yeah. So if you look at media, traditionally, advertising is the way that they make money. That has been from the beginning. And so what's happening is it is going to be ad supported, definitely. But because we're not doing subscriptions, subscriptions don't necessarily always work well. And we've seen that because Netflix, Disney Plus, a lot of these streamers all have now added ad supported tiers because subscriptions are not enough. People are too fickle to depend on them for your livelihood. So you add in something where you're going to get some quote sure money. So we have that, but we're also working on brand partnerships and brand sponsorships as well, in addition to the advertising. We are also not charging creators. I don't know if you know this, but there are some platforms. We're not the first OTT, which means over the top platform to exist, but many of them charge, and many of them are charging upwards of $500 a month. And there are no promises made. So I'm like, if you're going to be charging somebody that much, you damn well better have some promises in effect for them. And so knowing that, it doesn't make sense to charge them, because I also looked at myself. I'm like, I'm not paying anybody else for that. Why would I ask somebody else to do what I won't do? So we knew that we would be able to monetize so that everybody could benefit financially by doing the ads and brand partnerships and sponsorships. There's also, like I said, Indie Soup Learn is the ability for them to be able to monetize. And of course, we benefit from that as well. Yeah. So there are a lot of different ways. And then here's the thing. We're also eventually going to open up a merch store and a merch platform so that creators can also sell merch in there. Like if they have specific pieces of merch related to what they're doing for us, they could definitely sell merch in there, and we benefit from that as well. So what people have to understand, that the old ways of making money, where you make a whole your entire year budget from this way of monetizing, that doesn't really exist anymore. It's more different streams of doing things. And so that's what we're looking at.
Yeah,
you have to diversify. Yes.
Have to.
That's excellent.
Good stuff. What has been, okay, actually, how many creators do you have so far now?
So creators as a whole, some of them are working on, like we have one show where there's 4 of them. So if we're counting, actually, we have a show where there's 2 of them where there's more than one. So we have about 30 creators right now, right, across 24 shows.
Right.
Gotcha.
Okay. Good stuff. And
growing.
Yes. What are both you looking for in a creator to add value to Indie Soup Media?
Curtis?
Oh, great question. I think I think initially for me and Tachi, could obviously speak on our own behalf as well. But I think for me, it's authenticity. I think that the it's important that the content creator be comfortable with the information that they're sharing. It's important that that the content creator comes off as confident and just really knowing their craft. And even if they're not necessarily seasoned in that space, they're also coachable.
Love
And
that
so
word.
for me, that's those are the things that are kind of important.
Dr.
And
Tachi? Oh, go ahead.
I was
Sorry,
curious, the incubator part of it, are those like in cohorts, or is it kind of an ongoing, like how's the structure with people that want to learn how to run their own show?
It's ongoing. So you kind of just basically jump in once you apply and we accept you. You kind of just jump in and we record the sessions so that we can send them out to people who miss it. We understand that most creators are not, this is not the only thing they do. Many are working regular full-time jobs. And so we provide this as a learning experience for them. You just have to sit down and watch it, basically.
Makes sense. Wonderful.
Yeah. So for me, you were asking Dr. Vibe.
What are you looking for in a creator to add positive value to Indie Soup Media?
Creators who at least will realize that this takes work. It is really easy. Everybody wants to have a show. Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody has great ideas and you write them in a list, in a notebook. But now you have to activate these ideas, and that takes work. For us, we actually require that creators have at least 3 shows in the bag. Where did that come from? I used to be a producer for public access when I was an undergrad. So that was the requirement that we had. You had to have at least 3 shows in the bag. And, if you have more, even better, because then you're not so stuck of you're only a chapter ahead of where you need to be. You're several chapters ahead of where you need to be. So to produce more than one, that takes work. You also have to be disciplined. If this is something that you want to do, you'll make the time to do it. And we understand we're all busy because, Curtis and I are busy as well. This is not the only thing we do. But if you say you're going to do this and this is something you want to do, you make the time and you dedicate yourself to producing what needs to be produced, because the payoff is going to be so much greater. And this is why we really steered toward people that we saw initially, people that we saw that already had content, because they were already used to a schedule of creating content. So this is not something foreign for you. So not to say that you couldn't get on that schedule if you want to, but just like with anything, we need to see that you don't just have ideas, but you're ready to activate these ideas, or that at least you've done them in the past and you're ready to come into it now. And I think that's part of the reason for the coaching and looking for people that are coachable as well.
All right. I'm going to shut it down on Instagram. Thanks for stopping by, Fenton A. Joseph. Dr. LJ Speaks. Whiskey, Jazz, and Leadership. Oh, very much. Haven't heard from you in a while.
I love that.
Yeah, he's very Galen Bingham, great leadership coach. So thanks, everybody. Make sure you follow Indie Soup Media on Instagram. Go to their website, indiesoupmedia.com, and we will catch you later on Instagram sometime, some way. Remember to give yourself grace and don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Thanks a lot. Have a question. How did the name come about? How did Indie Soup Media? How that happen?
So we were rolling names around, and we knew we wanted indie in it, and we came up with a whole bunch of things, and we kept looking, and then we're like, no, this one is taken or whatever. So then Curtis said, how about Indie Soup? I said, Okay, well, let's look up the meaning of soup and what this is. And so we went through it, and basically this is what we came up with. Soup is actually, ironically, one of my favorite foods. Ask me why, I don't know, but I love soup. Soup is warm, soup is filling, soup is creative.
Yes.
So indie soup, if you think about it, or the soup, of course the indie is for independent, but soup is a food that is the amalgamation of a lot of wonderful, great, separate things that come together to make something greater. So that's where what we kind of settled on when we looked at indie soup and what that concept meant.
Excellent. Excellent. Good stuff. Um, what would be, where do you feel, where would you like to be a year from now?
Hmm.
You want to start first, Curtis?
Sure. A year from now, I would absolutely like to have at least probably closer to more like 100 content creators
Mm-hmm.
and just a plethora of different shows. Have more, and maybe, and I would even say hiring a staff as well, hiring more people to kind of just share the load, because as you guys mentioned, it is a lot of work putting this such a task together. So yeah, I would just certainly say definitely nearing on the 100 content creators, and just really have more classes that we've already produced, as far as our workshops that we've been doing, more workshops, and just a place for the content creators, the indie soup content creators, to be able to get more information on how to fine tune your craft.
Excellent. Dr. Tachi?
Solid.
I also would love to see all of that, but also viewership wise, I want to project 500,000 to 1,000,000 views by next year,
Okay.
and then continue to grow. So we want this to be, and we're already like our reach right now is a
Yeah.
million. Between all of the, if not more, between all of the content creators we have right now, the reach is probably in excess of 1,000,000. And so I know we can supersede that, where you have your reach, but we want those actual views as well. And by being on so many platforms, we know that that is something that is possible. So that's what I would like to see. And also we a part of our thing is an incubator definitely for creators, but also we're trying to train the next generation of media content network owners. And so we are very much into having interns. We want all kinds of interns, but because I went to an HBCU, I'm very passionate about also having a pipeline for HBCU students to make this happen. So that's what I would like to see.
And also international students too.
Yes, and international students.
Yes.
Definitely. I am about that. But again, my soft spot is HBCUs because of the lack of opportunities sometimes that exist for students that go to historically Black colleges and universities. So I would want to fill in Indie Soup to help fill in those gaps. And I came through communication at an HBCU. So I definitely want to see that. But yeah, international as well, because that also helps with, we're going to have international. We already have international content, but content from Asia, from Africa, from Europe, Australia, Antarctica, if you will. So South America. So every continent.
Right. Divine Right is saying, I'm looking forward to the launch of Indie Soup from the creative content shows and segments. Ray says, can't wait to see and hear more of Indie Soup Media. We need great content that we can connect and identify with. Congratulations. He also likes, soup is definitely creative. Everyone's soup is different.
Yeah, right.
Mohammed from Sierra Leone says, I also participate in the World Secular Economic Forum held on Seek Online. My gratitude to connect with you all, and I want to connect deeply. Well, you know where to find us. You know where to find us. So and maybe some people may not know this, you're not only looking for live shows, but also pre-recorded shows too, correct?
The
So
majority of the shows are pre-recorded. Yes.
pre-recorded. And what show length do they have to be?
You've got between 3 minutes for shorter segments that are like short, informative, and then up to 1 hour. So we kind of view Indie Soup as the cross between social media and traditional linear media content.
Nice,
So
nice.
So up to 3 minutes, but they can be shorter than 3 minutes. Like, for example, here's an example. I have some YouTube shorts that received like thousands of views. Would that be something you take?
Well, so what we could, but we really want for things to be in a widescreen or horizontal format.
Got
because
it.
it looks weird when somebody is watching it on a 55-inch screen TV and you're
Right.
looking at something that is social media look. So, you know, the thing is, a lot of people for social media do not produce in horizontal format, but you can
Right.
and you should, because that makes it repurposable on other platforms.
Okay, that's good to know, because I have a whole bunch of reels that I think are valuable content that can fit under the 3-minute guideline.
So, well, let me say this. The thing that you could do, and this is something that I do because I produce both traditional widescreen content and vertical content as well. So
Yeah.
what I started doing was, for YouTube, if I have something that I feel is really valuable in some vertical format, I actually put it on a quote mat on a background with
Right.
some wording next to it so that it becomes that wide screen. So that's what I would suggest, Dr. Vibe.
No problem. Ryan, any more questions? Because I know both of these individuals got lots to do, and actually too, they've been kind to me because I ordered some things that that I need to get to them. So I got a whole pile of work to do today. Also, Ryan,
Good stuff.
any additional comments, Ryan?
Final question around the type of content. So with ACBN, we do conferences and we like to capture it and then be able to have the different segments available later. Is that similar content that would be on this platform, where pre-recorded events, or is it more so just like podcasting and conversation type event or conversation type programs?
Let me take it first, MC, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Even if you did mind, I was going to talk first anyway. So I don't know what you thought, but so I think it depends on the event, because what we find is, or what I found is that events, and watching people live stream them, events don't typically do very well when they're played back, like bigger events like that, unless of course they're edited down, because it feels, for the viewer, they may feel detached from it. So I know everybody likes to do it, and in the moment it can work well. But even then, if you watch some people that are streaming from events live, they may or may not have a good viewership. So I think it depends on the event. It depends on the topic. It depends on how well it's edited, because it can be something that works very well, but it's going to be the type of event and the editing that determines that. So case by case basis, in my opinion. MC?
I think with I think with events, you would have to really probably have multiple cameras, and a lot of times events are operating within I guess a strict budget. They often don't have too many cameras, and maybe two cameras, maybe just a 2-camera shoot. But if you can do, as far as events, if a person is doing like 3 or 4 cameras and they've got just a budget that can withstand such a thing, it can absolutely make for a good viewing opportunity for its viewers. But outside of that, you would definitely need the resources in order to make it happen.
I want to jump on that and take it a little bit further now. Ryan, I think I'm reading your alleged mind a little bit, but in about 2 weeks' time, Ryan's organization is holding a major conference in Windsor, Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
that's running over 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So if Ryan came to both of you and said, hey, did this Black National Ecosystem Conference, I've got 30-minute segments from it, and they are well produced, would that be something you'd broadcast? Because again, it's basically a one-off event. And I just want to know, obviously you're looking more for regular programming,
Mm-hmm.
but would that something you maybe consider like a special event that's broken down into like 30-minute chunks or 1 hour chunks?
Oh, absolutely, because this is something that we're doing that we're doing with Traverse. We have a content creator relationship with Traverse. I'm actually going to Kenya with them in December because they are producing they're not calling it the Year of Return, but they're doing a conference in Kenya. So we're doing some specialized content that we're co-producing with them to show those types of things. In fact, we have like 3 shows we're co-producing with them. So yes, see, it's just that Ryan Galaking is speaking in cryptic way. Instead of saying I have this, he's like, what if who? You, Galaking, you? Yes.
Well, I brought it out there what he was trying to say. Like, I don't know what it was, Cam. Just put it out there, Ryan. Just put it out there. Like,
just say it. Just say it.
Just say it, brother.
I appreciate it. Yes.
Just say it.
It is going down. Yes. Our National Black Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Conference. So, but I want to make sure I understand how to cut it so that it's acceptable, not just bringing the event is happening, but if we like edited and presented well, 100% would love to put that together.
Excellent.
So let's have a conversation about that.
Sounds good.
There we go. Well, family, I know you got to make some moves because you have nothing to do except sleep on the couch until 3 o'clock in the morning. But any final thoughts you'd like to share with our family?
Curtis.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, first to say thank you guys for having us on here on Dr. Vibe Morning Show. Absolutely appreciate you and appreciate the great questions as well, and appreciate your audience as well. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to share about Indie Soup Media. We're looking forward to perhaps having some of you fill out an application perhaps, and let's have a conversation.
Dr. Tachi.
Yeah. So again, thank you. As always, this is like the Morning Vibe is my second home. This is honestly, I told Dr. Vibe this, I love this show so much because I'm a huge morning show fan, but good morning show. So the fact that I tune in indicates that this is a good morning program, and I am appreciative of you giving us the space to talk about this. I do want to end with this, that independent content production and conglomerates, that's the future of media. So I think we're so used to the way things are that we don't know how to operate any other way. We're used to, this is the program, I'm the one that's going to give you the go ahead and for this, and that's it. And even when you do produce things on your own, it's like, okay, well, the distribution is not going to be that great, so I'm just going to use this as a platform to spring off and jump someplace else. This is the someplace else. This is the future of media. So we would appreciate your support when we launch.
I have a question, but I'm going to ask it off air because something just came up in my mind, but I'm going to ask it off air when we're done. Okay. So there's the contact information, Indie Soup Media, Instagram, and you'll find all the contact information. What we are speaking, that there's at least one person that watched today that will be on Indie Soup Media within the next 3 months. At least one. And even though they're based in this, even though they're based in the States, family, I ain't based in the States, and I'm gonna have at least 2 content pieces on there, if not more. So there, if you want a great place with a startup and growing entity, and say, hey, I knew MC Curtis and Dr. Tachi when. And then we can go see them at the gala shows.
Oh, God. No, I will not be there. I will not be there.
What
I
about the
already
Indie
told
Soup?
you.
What about the Indie Soup Media Awards?
Oh, when we do our own, yes. But anybody
Okay.
else's, I will send my regrets. I'm not going.
And also to catch Mediascope on Wednesdays, and also catch what Curtis is doing in regards to coaching of men. I know he can't give all the details, but he has an upcoming summit for men coming up in the near future. Curtis, where can people touch base with you online?
Yeah, online you can check me out. Actually, just go ahead and send me an email if you're interested at it's not rocket science coaching at gmail.com. Again, it's not rocket science coaching at gmail.com. We're also on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
Okay. Actually, do you have time for one more conversation piece? Ray has a question. Here we go. Is horizontal format more universal and easily adaptable to different viewing devices?
So I'll take it first. You can basically watch any type of content on any device. It's just the look that it's they're going to be looking for. So it's this is a nuanced question because it also depends on the format that the particular
Platform.
network or platform is asking you for. There
Right.
are some things that won't fit. So if you're trying to use, there's different resolution. So if you're trying to do, remember old school standard definition, which basically looked like a square 4:3. It will work, but it doesn't look the best. It looks like a square on a wide screen. Same thing, like as you said, right now with vertical content, you've got these two huge black bars on the side, and then the content in the middle, and it doesn't make for the best seamless viewing experience. So for media like television, etc., streaming, the traditional format of 16:9 resolution, 16:9, right? Or 1920 by 1080. That is the traditional television viewing format, and that is still what is acceptable for most production. Now, again, you could go a little bit higher than that when we talk about cinema and you're doing a festival viewing experience or a movie viewing experience. It may be even wider. So for television, though, right now, 1080p or that 16:9, but it could get a little wider if they accept 4K, which is going to be wider. So I hope that answered. Widescreen is the accepted, but slowly you're starting to see some other things on mixed in with there. Like, okay, what was the name of the show? Julia Roberts was it? I can't remember. It was great, but what it was it was widescreen. But then when they went to present day, it became like a TikTok video. It became 9:16. So mixing these things in, we're starting to see. But on its own, still widescreen is the accepted. I don't know if you want to add to that, MC.
Well, yeah, you've actually said it very nicely. I think when you're trying to when you're not creating format or producing content that is that aligns itself with what's acceptable, if you will, you run the risk of just limiting your output on different devices, if you will. Some platforms may not even do a mobile devices or something like that. So I think you just run the risk of just having content cut off, if you will, because as Tachi mentioned, if you are if you film something standard and you want to make that standard video or content that you created 16:9, you're running the risk of having a good portion of your content just cut off. And so it's just kind of I guess stick within the guidelines, and that's going to be your best bet.
All right. So Ray says, thanks for the explanation and clarity, Dr. Tachi. Divine Right says, if Indie Soup has a red carpet event, I'm there.
All right.
Oh, and I promise you, there will be no stuffed chicken. None.
Divine Right says, no galas
Yeah.
for Tachi. Okay.
There'll be cocktails though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Well, family, thank you for everything you do, past, present, and future. Of course, we're not going to be chatting like this, but also chatting offline. Remember to give yourself grace and don't just manage your time, manage your energy. And I'll get my deliverables to you today. Bye-bye.
Bye,
All
everyone.
right. Take care, family. Bye-bye. All right. There we go. Indie Soup Media was in the house, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm hoping people went to the website, checking it out, sending it to content creators that you know, get them to apply. This is excellent.
There you go. There you go. That's what we do. That's what we do. What is up for the rest of the week?
Yeah, I mean, it's crunch time leading up to the conference. Looking forward to just making sure that's finalized and the show can go on. But beyond that, yeah, I'm just gonna dig into this Indie Soup and see what's coming up. The soft launch is next week, so making sure that content
Yeah,
creators.
and we'll be on it, Brian. We'll be on for the initial launch.
So
we'll
looking forward to
for the
sharing it.
initial launch. I'm
Love
telling
it,
you,
love
I'm
it.
looking forward to that. That's going to be
Yeah.
fantastic. So definitely, people, check it out. If you're not a content creator, you can still support by watching and also spreading the news. Or as like
Absolutely.
Frank Sinatra
Yes.
said, start spreading the news. Yeah, start spreading the news. So that
Love
is great. So a few things before we kick out of here. What do I want to put? There we go. Please like the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button so you get notified about these epic conversations. And like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook and LinkedIn. Also, would you like to join the Morning Vibe Discord group? Email me dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. If you're watching this on June 12th or before June 13th, tomorrow night, 9 p.m., I'll be speaking with Dr. Alicia Watkins about Black Fathers and Father's Day. And actually, the title of the conversation is A Message of Hope for Black Fathers. So don't miss that. On Wednesday, the 14th, 10 a.m. That's why you follow me. We've got Devin McDonald from Carnes O'Neill talking about AI and advertising, especially just talking about AI. So I think we've got everything covered. You can watch the replays of the Morning Vibe. We've been scrolling it along the bottom. Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and Facebook. Afro-Caribbean Business Network on Facebook and YouTube. And Ryan Oneil Knight on YouTube. Anything else you want to add, Ryan? I think we got everything covered today.
Absolutely. No, nothing specific on my end. Always appreciate everybody taking time to listen in, whether live or on the replay. Looking forward to seeing you Friday, but we'll be popping into your
Friday. We've got Ray McMillan on. So
yes,
talking about, so get it out and we'll post it as soon as possible. And again, here's all the places you can contact me: website, email, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. It's all done. Any more? I think we have one more comment. Let's see. Terry Nicholson says, have a great day, everyone. We will in Toronto. It's a wet one, but it's a good one. We needed to get grass growing. Because I was about to
gardens.
Well, I was going to tell people, hey, if you have a horse or any cattle, come and start eating the grass from my lawn because it's so nice and dry,
Yes.
All right. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller to get stronger. Block assumptions and aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace and don't just manage your time, manage your energy. God bless. Peace be well. Keep the faith. Follow us. If you don't, you'll see us on Friday with Ray McMillan. Spread the word. Keep on subscribing. Keep on notifications. Bye.